We say farewell to arguably one of the best couples we've seen in quite some time, Zhao Lusi and Yang Yang. The romance of Haifeng Baishi was one of the ages. Their love and strength was unbreakable all the way to the end. With the evil mastermind behind everything, Yuo Yun has put the finishing touches to his dubious plans to rule the world. The final episodes ramped up the action with several full-scale battles as the wars between states raged on. Most notably, the battles between Qingzhou and Yuzhou. Featuring the Bloody Phoenix formation, the action was amazing, highlighting our four gentries going toe-to-toe. It culminated with Yuo Yun having built his own cannons to lure the army into a devastating defeat, only to see the plan foiled by Bai Fengxi. Although she saved the day, it almost cost her life. With Hai Fengxi desperate to save her, he gives up most of his life, which turned his hair white. With the final showdown with Yuo Yun looming, we see an unlikely alliance between Hai Fengxi, Bai Fengxi, and Huang Chao.
Rewinding to take a closer look at the ending, as Lang Shi gives up his life force to save Bai Fengxi, old Tianji reveals the secret behind the Empyrean Yu family. Yu Yantian had been betrayed by Wei Ye, wiping out all but their youngest child, who survived the bloodline with a blood curse. The final duel takes place between Haifeng Baishi, Huang Chao, and Wu Yuan, seeing the end of the finest gentry. The emperor cedes the throne to Lan Shi, and after an inspiring speech by Huang Chao, Lan Shi decides to give up the Empyrean seal, letting Huang Chao rule the world. So who ruled the world?
Well, Huang Chao.
Yeah,
apparently. No, but he was he was noble throughout the whole time.
Absolutely.
Like he was just he was
being steered wrong by Wu Yuan.
Yeah, I mean, but the one thing that really kind of almost ruined this drama for me was the end fight scene. The end fight scene was just terrible. It was like, okay, so I guess this is where the Love and Redemption director comes in and just does these amazing things, but I have no idea what happened during that fight scene. They were in the air, they were in the ground, there was a bunch of things happening, it went so fast, and then at the end, boom, it was over. And I was just like, wow, that was terrible.
I will agree to a certain extent. The fight between the four of them was epic until they took it to the air.
Yeah.
That's when it was a little bit kind of muddy, and I didn't know what was going on, and then suddenly it was over. I was like, oh, I guess they delivered the final blow.
It was terrible.
So, I mean, I'm not going to let that final fight kind of ruin the entirety of the show, because the show is, I mean, out of the very little C-dramas that I've watched this year, is the best C-drama I've watched this year. And I am like a huge fan of Yang Yang from King's Avatar, but now I'm a believer now. I am a worshiper of Zhao Lusi, because she did an amazing job. Her acting was crazy good in this show. You know, a lot of times when we watch C-dramas, the acting, because it is ADR, most of the time we don't get to see a lot of their very sad moments and very tragic moments. When she's mourning the loss of her brother and her father, those are real tears, that's real acting, and you can hear the natural dialogue in those scenes.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I've been a Zhao Lusi fan for like so long, and finally this is her first big budget drama. And I would probably go as far as to say that this was probably the best costume drama this year, in kind of like the wuxia like Shansha type.
I mean, we could say domain. So far, right? Because we're still in the beginnings of this year. We still have the rest of the year, but I'm still confident that this will hold up, because like you said in the beginning, I do believe they're also like the best couple.
They were the best couple. I mean, like, we have to say goodbye to this couple for now, because like that was like such an amazing like thing to see. Like their chemistry, their joy together was so perfect. And I know most of you have been commenting and been like really amazed by the acting of both of them. And it's kind of sad. Like, what do we watch now? Like, I don't know.
We're just gonna have to be disappointed in everything else. But Luce's and Yang Yang's chemistry definitely lent to selling their romance. I think the build-up out of all of the C-dramas we've watched so far that is about romance has the most natural progression of kind of like awkward silliness in the beginning, and then realizing that you had attraction to that person, then realizing that you couldn't live without that person, then realizing that, okay, now now we belong together.
Yeah.
And then realizing that, oh, our ambitions, we don't want to rule the world. We just want to spend our time together.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lengxi only has like what, 10 or 20 years?
10 years left.
10 years left to live. And if you were ever wondering what Yang Yang looks like with long white hair, now you got it.
怎么？难道我白头之后，你就不喜欢我吗？
But like they end up like choosing to live the rest of his life together, like out in somewhere like cooking and enjoying each other's company.
They might have established another fountain abode for them.
But like the whole entire story and the whole entire drama was very captivating. Of course, Chinese dramas have a lot of holes and a lot of things to criticize, but we don't really dwell on that. Like we focus on the story and we decide whether it's enjoyable or we're enjoying the show like overall.
Yeah, the big picture.
Yeah, and for me, like overall, I thought it was an amazing drama. Like the two actors were fantastic, but that fight scene almost really ruined it for me.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing it from an A- to a B+.
I'm gonna have to keep it an A+, simply because
It's so easy.
I'm not easy. It's just like what is that, like 5-10 seconds of a fight across 40 episodes. I kept on watching this simply because the progression of their romance was so compelling, and it was wrapped around this kind of political intrigue wrapper where the warring states had such interesting dynamics between each other, and the whole chess match or the Go game between Huang Chao, Wu Yuan, and Lan Xi and Bai Fengxi.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was just incredible, like the back and forth that they went through and all of the little secrets and plans that they went through, where one would trump the other and then they would counterattack. That stuff amidst all of the romance was perfectly done.
Well, in any case, that is it for us, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Leave us a comment below. What did you think of Who Rules the World? Do you agree on the A+ grading or somewhere along the lines of a B+? But in any case, leave your comments in the section below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tap that bell so you know when we post new videos.
Leave a like.
And this is what we're watching this Sunday. We'll see you next time.
Hey, oh,